Alright, y'all. So, for the record, before anybody says anything, hands free. Yes, I'm driving a semi. It is what it is. Sorry, I'm just pulling out of the Loves here in North Platte, Nebraska. But I wanted to give y'all an update. Tell y'all what's going on. So, many of y'all know I am suing the state of Ohio. Unapologetically. Yeah, they're getting sued. May or may not win. But, I promised I'd give updates on the case. Well, the updates are this. Apparently I have a lot to learn about Ohio rules of civil court procedure. That's fine. You know, DOT requires me to take a 10-hour break every night, so I got some reading time. I don't sleep 10 hours, obviously. And that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm 100% okay with learning it. But the updates are as follows. So I filed suit on the 9th of September. Today is the... I don't even know what today is. October 25th. Wow, I just had to look. So, I'm almost 2 months in. I quit the Ohio Department of Corrections, the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, September 5th. That's when I turned in my uniforms and said bye. I had enough of it. And for those of y'all that don't know the backstory is this. I was working a CM wing, Ohio's word would be 4B. Sorry, I did most of my time in corrections in Florida. I'm used to their terminology. CM just makes more sense than 4B to me. CM means close management. Anyway, these are bad boys. Most of them in there have a history of staff assaults. Well, I have my assault packet where I was assaulted by an inmate. What happened was I was feeding chow, and while I was feeding chow, handing out trays, and the way you hand it, for those of y'all who are unfamiliar with how close management inmates in a prison works, you feed them cell front. You have a locked hole in the door that you have to unlock, open the bean flap, and you slide them their tray. And that's how they get their food. Well, this particular convict decided he wanted to go ahead and throw shit on me through the flap as soon as, when I opened it. And this is how he got me. Because this is the first and last time I've ever had it done. I say the last time because, well, number one, I'll be a little bit more on my guard. Number two, I'm probably blackballed from corrections, and I'm cool with it. I'm perfectly okay with it. I kind of like driving this truck. Except the fact that it's an automatic, it ain't got, the gear shift over here. But either way, I digress. So, long story short, he threw shit on me through the bean flap when I tried to give him his food. Now, Here's where it gets really interesting. Because in the inmate's statement, the inmate claimed he did it because I used a racial slur. Now, those of y'all that don't know anything, let me go ahead and break this down for you. Number one, the N-word, or any other racial slur for that matter, has absolutely zero business being used in a prison. Really ain't got to use, really shouldn't be used anywhere, but especially not a prison, by anybody. I don't care who you are. Personally, that word shouldn't be used anywhere, but it is what it is. People do use it. Some people are small-minded and they have no vocabulary and they just don't make any sense, so they're going to drop those types of slurs. I don't agree with it. But anyway, I am a Southerner. I am from Mississippi, quite obviously. And to be more obvious, going up north, looking the way I do, talking the way I do, I guess that's an easy claim to make. Except there's one small little caveat I haven't told y'all about. The state of Ohio provides these nice little fashion accessories that sit right about here called body cams. This is probably one of the few times to where I was actually grateful I was wearing a body cam in a prison. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Those of y'all that work with me in Florida, y'all know I'll get an inmate's ass all day. I will. It's just the way, just the way I am. But that body camera, if you go back and you look, and I have requested the video, I've got an FOIA in. We've got to figure out how to get them some money and a jump drive. The money's not the problem. I just got to figure out how to get them the jump drive and how to go pick it up. I may actually, request a load through Toledo just to do that. Well, I bet they'd freak out if they saw me driving this semi up to the prison to hand them a money order and a thumb drive. That would actually be great. I think I'm going to do that, actually. So, that being said, I went ahead and did that. So I'm waiting on the body cam. I'm waiting on copies of emails. Now, back to the lawsuit itself. The state had 28 days to respond. 28 days was up on the 17th. Well, they requested a 2-week extension, which actually ends the 31st. So, 6 days from now. And I will completely look at their answer. I will say that I have spoken with both of the attorneys, and I suck at names, so I apologize for not remembering their names. But it was a man and a woman that worked for the Ohio Attorney General's office who defends all lawsuits against the department. And I want to say that they're nice. I think we had a productive conversation. I honestly do believe that, between the three of us, we can come up to some agreement. Now, this lawsuit to me isn't all about money. I'm not saying money isn't a factor. money is certainly a factor, only as a punitive measure, though. The reason that money is a factor in this lawsuit to me is so I can teach the state of Ohio that this is unacceptable and you do not treat correctional officers like this. The reason I'm suing is not because of the assault. I'm suing because they refused to prosecute the inmate. You do not leave correctional officers hanging out in the wind. That is unacceptable. When I started in corrections in Florida, we had a saying that said, "We never walk alone." I have since worked other departments, and I still carry that same mentality with me. We never walk alone. That means if I'm getting my ass whipped, we all better be getting our asses whipped. If you're getting your ass whipped, I'm going to come in there and get my ass whipped with you. If it's 30 on you, and I'm there, it better be 30 on 2. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Yeah, 30 on 2? Okay. I'm going to get my ass whipped. But I might be able to give you just a little bit of relief to where we can safely disengage and get to where we're going. Get to a safe place. Maybe not, but God damn it, I'm going to try. Now, obviously Ohio does not believe in that because they threw me out and others out to dry. When I do go up there, I'm going to file another Freedom of Information Act request. I want to know all the officers this year that have been assaulted and their assaults have not been prosecuted. And I fully intend to call them as witnesses. That's to show a pattern. That's to show that the culture of screwing COs is alive and well at that facility. And their reason for not wanting to prosecute the inmate that assaulted me was because, according to them, the Lucas County District Attorney has a policy that says that they will not prosecute an inmate for staff assault who's got more than 5 years left on his sentence. The guy's got 6 and some change left. If he was a lifer, I get it. Why waste the state's money? If he had 50 years, day for day, okay, I get that. Maybe even if he had 25 years, day for day, I could probably understand that. But 6 years? No. No. Extend his stay. And they were wanting to charge the lesser felony of harassment of a correctional officer, which is a 5th degree felony. I wanted to charge assault on a correctional officer, which is a 3rd degree felony. A little bit more time. I can articulate both charges, but I'll take the one that's got more ass behind it. And I'm not stopping. I'm not backing down. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to call the district attorney's office here in a few hours. Right now it's 4:41 in the morning, Central Time. They're on Eastern Time. So I'm going to give it about 5 hours and probably give them a call just to see. The state of Ohio In my lawsuit, I claim that their policies and their practices put COs at risk. Well, you don't have to be Stonewall Jackson to know that if you don't have your staff's back, that your staff is going to be in danger. You don't have to know anything about a prison to know that if you give convicts an inch, they'll steal the whole damn state. You don't have to work at a prison to know that if you let an inmate assault an officer and get away with it, they're only going to continue this dangerous behavior. And they're only going to continue putting people's lives at risk. What's it going to take? Is it going to take somebody getting killed? God forbid. Ohio already is on record of having the longest prison riot in the country's history. Probably the world, but I know for sure the country's history. That happened at Lucasville in 1993, where inmates held the prison hostage for 11 days and killed a correctional officer and several inmates, from what I recall. So Ohio, you already have a shitty track record with this. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for y'all to wake up and stop putting my brothers and sisters at risk? Yeah, I know I'm not actively in uniform. Not at the moment. I may go back. I'll never go back to work for ODRC. I'll never recommend it. As a matter of fact, I'll recommend people run, and I'll tell them why. This is an ongoing fucking pandemic. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I talk about it, the madder I get. I tried to hold my temper. You're putting lives at risk, people. Annette Chambers Smith, your policies, your hug-a-thug policies, are putting officers and inmates, incarcerated persons. Fuck you, they're goddamn convicted felons. You're putting them at risk, though. Right along with the COs working. Right along with the other support staff working. Nurses, doctors, counselors, case managers, unit managers. Upper echelon, wardens. Oh yeah. Your policies from your department is putting everybody at risk. You know, I'm from Mississippi, and I now live back in Mississippi. I got the fuck out of Ohio because I didn't trust certain people up there not to bum rap my ass or try to. So I went back to Mississippi quickly. You know, Mississippi's correctional commissioner is a guy by the name of Burl Cain. I thought Burl Cain was the worst commissioner, which is what the Ohio calls it a director of corrections. I thought Burl Cain was the worst. Annette, you make Burl Cain look desirable to work for. And that man narrowly escaped felony charges when he worked for Louisiana State Penitentiary in Angola. I have no problem with the COs. Well, There's a few COs at Toledo I have a problem with, but that's personal. That has nothing to do with this. I have a problem with the investigators and the administrators not backing their staff. Yeah, I'm suing. I had to put something down, so I put $100,000 down. Am I going to get it? Probably not. What else I put down in there was I want policy changes to protect COs. I want this culture of discouraging COs from seeking prosecution of inmates who assault them to stop. That's what's important to me. I want the investigators held accountable, DRC and the Highway Patrol investigators. I want them to be held accountable for making sure that the prison's a safe place to work. Now, I know some of y'all that never worked in a prison just went, but Anthony, it's a prison. No prison is safe. Bullshit. Bullshit. You want to know how you run a safe prison? I tell you what, put me in charge. I'll show you how to run a safe prison. It ain't hard. Matter of fact, it's the easiest thing in the world. You go in there, you let them convicts know who runs this. They don't run anything. You get all the contraband out. You properly train your officers, which Ohio training, I want to talk about this for a minute. Ohio DRC training is pretty good. Toledo CI's institutional training, I want to say, is some of the best I've ever seen. And kudos to all of the training staff at Toledo CI. Good job. Good on you. Thank you, and keep up the good work. I will say that. That guy that's over the training, Jones, great guy, fantastic fucking instructor. Nothing about the Toledo CI institutional training was bad. It's the practices that are bad. And that's what needs to stop. That's what I want to stop. That's what's important to me. Whether I make $1 or whether I make $100,000 or whether it goes to, whether I appeal it if I lose to a federal jury trial and they award me $1 million, makes no difference to me versus making the institution safer for the people who are still there working the job. That's what's important to me. And you can choose to believe that or not. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm making a hell of a lot more money out here driving this truck with no stress than I was working at the prison. I'm hanging out here, got my dog with me. Looking down the road. I'm going to watch the sun come up in Wyoming today, which Wyoming is probably one of my favorite states. It's very beautiful. I've never lived there because it's too damn cold, but I digress. No stress. I can smoke a cigarette when I want to. I ain't got nobody up my ass. As long as I get this load delivered on time, nobody really cares. And I do it safely. So what are we going to do, Ohio? Are we going to do it right? Do I need to start reaching out to people and, maybe going public? You never know. Social media is a big thing. I could buy as many commercials as I wanted to and as many billboards on the side of the highway as I wanted to, and it wouldn't be as effective as social media is. Y'all know it. That's why you have social media policies. Guess what? I'm on social media and there's not a thing you can do about it. The only thing that you might be able to get is a cease and desist, which I will fight. And I will fight the hell out of it on First Amendment issues. The judge has not issued a gag order. If he does, I'll fight that too. I don't think he can. He might be able to. I don't know. Again, these are things I have to read as far as Ohio rules of civil court procedure goes. But I'm telling y'all right now, I'm in this for a fight. And I'm ready to fight. Some of y'all up there in Toledo are probably going to get